Om Sai Ram, children. This is Paati. I have a story for you, and the name of the story is The Pelicans' Long Flight to Safety. The day was peaceful and sunny, and a gentle breeze blew softly over a small lake, making a pattern of ripples on the surface of the water. Two pelicans sat quietly on the branch of an old tree, which was growing close to the edge, and a flock of wild ducks had made their nests in a clump of bulrushes in the middle of the lake. All of a sudden, a loud crack broke the silence. This was followed by another crack and yet another crack. Percy Pelican and his wife Paati Pelican jumped in fright, and at the same time the wild ducks rose up into the air and flew away, frantically flapping their wings as they made their escape. "What a terrible noise!" cried Paati in dismay. Percy replied, "Some huntsmen have come to shoot the wild ducks nesting in the bulrushes. We will have to leave the lake now. It isn't safe to live here any more." "But where will we go?" asked Paati. "Don't worry, my dear. We will find a place," said Percy with confidence. "All we have to do is keep on trying." So Percy and Petunia, the two pelicans, flew away from the lake forever and traveled far across the countryside and out over the sea. On and on they went until, at the end of the day, they came to a small island. "We can stay here overnight," said Percy. And as they flew down to land, they discovered that the island was a penguin rookery with hundreds of noisy penguins living there. Next morning, Percy and Paati were glad to be leaving the penguin rookery. "The noise is deafening. All the noise made by these penguins and their babies," shouted Paati. "This is no place for us." Again, the two pelicans flew out across the ocean, and by that evening they were feeling quite tired. Slowly they glided down to land on the waves and spent some time diving for fish to fill their empty stomachs. Suddenly Percy cried out, "Look over there, Paati. Can you see a steamship sailing along? We can rest on board overnight." It wasn't long before Percy and Petunia the penguins were huddled together on the ship's deck, where they soon fell asleep. Their feathers kept them nice and warm, especially when the thick fog came drifting in over the sea and onto the ship. Just before daybreak, a mysterious honking sound woke them up. Percy laughed. "That's only the fog horn, which the captain blows to warn the other ships not to come too close." As soon as the fog lifted, the two birds flew away into the distance, still searching for a home. Their prayers were answered that day at sunset, when the sky was a rosy pink color. Percy and Paati spotted a lovely sandy beach down below. Floating gently down, they landed on the sparkling water. Happily, they bobbed up and down on the waves, catching fish to eat and filling their big pelican beaks. But best of all was a sign at the water's edge which read, "This is a very safe beach. Pelicans are welcome here." And that is where they lived for the rest of their lives. The lesson here is that we need to develop the ability to keep on trying again and again whenever we face difficulties. We have to learn to explore and create new ways of solving a problem. We also have to believe in ourselves that we can do it and overcome any obstacles and problems. And we also need to have a little bit of patience. Thank you for listening.